I actually was born in Rio Bravo, Tamaulipas. It's a northern city of Mexico. I like to represent where I am from in in a diverse place as New York, and what is going to make you unique. And for me, it's my culture. The usual music played there is norteño, cumbia, and I think I do love those sounds. I don't play them all the time in my music, but I try to implement some of the melodies or rhythms, so I try to find labels that fit into that sound. So the first record I want to share is by Legion Dangerous. I have this record because I love industrial sounds, and I went to Germany for the Red Bull Music Academy. I used to work for the radio, and I was so inspired by all the music of the 80s in Germany, all the synth music, the new wave music from Germany. So I already knew one of their songs, which is very famous, which is Los Niños del Parque. And then I was at OI Records, scrolling through, just to explore record shops in Berlin. And I found it, and I was very happy. I was like, you know what? I'm going to pay the price. I don't care. I really love the whole album's perfection. So, yeah, I think this is a must-have for a lot of people. I recommend it. Yeah, and then I will see what else. Well, first I will explain that these three are from the same label. I'm a big fan of Veronica Vesica's Minimal Wave and City Tracks, so I always try to buy the records that she has under her label. The first one is under City Tracks. This is a very, very awesome Montreal artist. Her name is Marie Davidson. She also has a duo called Esepa, and it's a lot of spoken word mixed with synth-pop and techno. So it's very danceable. You can throw it in the club. Like, some of the tracks are really, really dark. So it's like, I use her music usually for intro to a DJ set or ending a DJ set. It's really beautiful. And yeah, this was released on the City Tracks a few years ago, and the minute she released it, I had to buy it. She's released other things under Ninja Tunes, so this was one of her most known, which is called Adieu Dance Floor. So goodbye to the dance floor. And this one's under Minimal Wave. It's one of the compilations that Veronica does under the label. And this one is called The Bedroom Tapes. And it has music from Australia, Belgium, Japan, all from the 80s to 1991. It's really beautiful. It has some industrial sounds, some more peaceful synth sounds, mostly all done in the bedroom. That's why it's called The Bedroom Tapes. And it's all music that was unreleased and she found. That's usually her thing. She finds hidden tapes or music that people made back in the day and it never got a chance to be seen or heard. So yeah, this is one of my favorites. Yeah. She has other compilations, like the hidden tapes and then the minimal tapes. So I'll talk about this one in a bit, but these two I just got on my trip to Portugal. I went to Lisbon, and I went to a really cool record store called Fleur Records. And I was just, as always, just looking through records, and I went to their Portuguese artist section. And I saw this one, Mr. Wolo Galu. It's a famous record by Carlos Maria Trinidade and Nino Canavaro. And it hasn't been reissued for a long time. This is the first reissue. So I had to buy it, and I heard it feels, the sounds are very fairy tale and ambient. It's a perfect Sunday sound. Like, you know, you're recovering from all the things you did the weekend. This is probably like making breakfast music and sitting on the couch drinking your coffee. And this one was a recommendation from the store, one of the store employees, because I liked the cover. And there's a connection with Principe in the record store as well. So the store is ran partly by someone from the Principe label. So obviously they're gonna like be like, hey, you should. But it's actually the best purchase. I love this record, and it has a really, really unique story. I don't want to get too into it because it's such a long story, but if you go to Bandcamp, you can go and read it. But basically, the artist, Duarte, is two people. One of them, or maybe both of them, they were in China, and they went to this club called Taipei Disco, and I think they were trying to get the DJ to play the record or something, and they recorded live. One of the sides of this record has a live recording of, I believe, it being played in the club. But anyway, there's something special about the name. I recommend as well to listen. These two are very perfect. They go perfectly together. So if you're like DJing, you might as well play these two together. It has the ambient feels and relaxing. You don't need to be beat matching them. It just flows. Yeah. And finally, this one is probably my favorite of my whole collection. I don't have a very big collection, but this one's my favorite because it has the most beautiful sound. Well, for me, it's my favorite sound. It's like synth-pop music. And it's all in French, so it's really cool, really sexy. And the two artists were together. They were a couple, so I think it was really romantic. But anyway, Du has a few records, and most of them are released under Minimal Wave. This one's called Decadence. And I don't know, I just really love it. I like the way it sounds. It feels very 80s when you're listening to it. And yeah, it released under my favorite label. Wish we could put it on, but yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. Cool. Well, thank you for taking us through your collection.
Yeah.